Hello there! Small announcement regarding the channel. I recently opened a TP page where you can support me via donation deck lists. I created different tiers where I can just play the exact list that you send me. You can also send me a list that you want me to fine-tune, or you can alternatively send me just an ID or a command zone, and I make two videos about it, one about the deck building of the deck and the other one will be an MTGO league. See ya! Hello there! I am Jean-Alexis, aka JR, and today we're going to play Oswald Fiddlebender in a Duel Commander League. Oswald by himself is a 2/2 for 1 white and a generic mana, Gnome Artificer, and it says for 1 tap and sacrifice an artifact. You search your library for an artifact card with mana value equals to 1 plus the sacrificed artifact's mana value, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. It is basically a birthing pod for artifacts, and at first glance I thought that white wasn't the right color to have this effect in. I thought that in blue it might be better, but actually white has some pretty good weapons and pretty valuable pieces to fetch in certain matchups. First that comes to mind is either Sworn Canonist, where we are in at the moment in a metagame where a lot of storm decks exist, and this is one of the best things we can do against them. Ratchet 2 is a really nice tool to have in the deck in grindy matchups. Even might be a potential swap into red aggressive decks. And we have, in white, a lot of good ways to remove opponents' permanents. So actually, white fits quite well with what this command zone is attempting to do. We have two combo in the deck. First one is Phyrexian Dreadnought with either Torpor Orb that we can search for, or one of the Hushbringer-like creatures that we play. This is, I think, a good effect to be playing in Duel Commander. There are two more that I don't play on purpose. There is a 2/1 flyer for 3 mana, but I think 3 mana is too much to pay for this effect. And there's another one with flash, but that also prevents our artifacts from triggering, and this is not something that we want to be doing at all. Another combo the deck can present is Painter's Servant plus Grindstone. As you can see, key pieces of combo in the deck cost 1 mana, so it is needed to have some amount of 0 mana artifacts. That's one of the reasons why we played these bubbles. But also Novice Inspector, Thraben Inspector, and Servo Schematic. This might sound weird, but actually last time I played the deck, this card, I really missed this card. Having something that costs 2, so it is easily tutorable, that can bring us a 0-cost artifact into play, is, I think, mandatory in the deck. And I think Servo Schematic might be the best one. Might be wrong on this, because they are like prize statue that puts treasures into play, which might be considered. And I think there's another artifact that puts tokens into play. But yep, I think having this effect is important in the deck. A spicy slot is Implement of Improvement. I like these kind of cards in the deck because recycling your 1-drops, drawing a card, if you can activate Oswald on them, is quite nice, and in that regard, Implement works well, but it also is a kind of combo with Ratchet, where you can just bury your opponent in grindy matchups. It works well if you stack the abilities correctly. You can, every turn, pay 1 white to gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. Each turn cycle, actually. Once during your turn, once during your opponent's turn. So, yep. This is actually quite nice. I didn't thought it would be this much relevant, but last time I played the deck, actually this was something that I was willing to tutor for in some situations. The latest addition to the list, I think, is Voice of Victory. It seems to fit quite well in the deck. Somewhat aggressive, it is somewhat of a menace that our opponent has to answer, so it kind of protects Oswald. And the same could be said for Oswald Pride. This is, I think, one of the best, if not the best, 1-drop in white at the moment. And it put immediate pressure on our opponent to get rid of it. If they don't, well, this actually means that Oswald might be safe. And if they do, this is a removal Oswald won't be taking. So I think this card actually fits quite well in the deck, even if we're not strictly speaking an aggressive deck. Regarding interactions, we have everything that can exile creatures for 1 mana. We have a lot of them actually. This is pretty nice. Our removal base is quite good. And some amount of protection for our command zone. And I kind of like Unexpectedly Absent. It, yes, does some kind of card disadvantage / doesn't get rid of the permanent on a permanent basis, but I still think this is quite relevant and good in the deck. And Swift Configuration, I don't really like this card as a strict removal. It doesn't get rid of the static ability or activated abilities of a creature. But in this specific deck, it is a nice tool to have against red aggressive decks who are a bad matchup. And it also is a way to protect our command zone from opponent's interaction, because changing it into a vehicle will allow us to keep it in play if our opponent tries to remove it. In the land base, I think nothing special. Urza's Saga is working in tandem with Urza's Cave and Echoing Deeps and the Weathered Wayfarer. One of the best plans of the deck is to use an Urza's Saga many times in a game. This is really good in some matchups. And Mycosynth Gardens is a way to combo with Phyrexian Dreadnought. Mirex is, well, a card I want to test. It is, I think, okay. It doesn't cost us that much in the mana base. We still have a lot of basic planes to play with, or On Thin Ice and Winter Moon, but it is a way to grind in some matchups, and more importantly, I think, having a 0 mana artifact into play at some point. Blinkmoth Nexus might have the same purpose to some extent, but I think that Mirex might be fine in the deck. We'll see, I guess, during the league. And yep, I don't think I will go onto presenting every slot of the deck. This could be interesting, but I think too long for the purpose of this video. If you're interested, I think some people maybe did this better than me anyway. But yeah, there are a lot of fun stuff to do with this deck. It is quite rewarding if you play it right, quite punishing if you play it wrong. But anyway, it is a ton of fun to play, and I think it is actually quite good. So yep, let's jump into round 1. This video is sponsored by Mana Traders. By using my promo code in description, you will get 40% of your subscription cost as a cashback on your 3rd month of renewal. If you don't know about Mana Traders, they are a card rental service and the best way to try MTGO without breaking the bank. They are the reason I can play so many different decks on leagues, as I subscribe to their Commander plan, which for $25 a month allows you to rent 101 cards. I'm very happy with their services, so if you want to try them out, go fetch the coupon in the description. So we're on the play on round 1 against an Aragorn, King of Gondor. Okay, one of the matchups where Torpor Orb is good. I'm on the play and I actually like this hand. Think it is quite cool. Regarding the fact that I'm on the play, I'd rather play Benevolent Bodyguard on 1, followed by Oswald on 2, and then probably Schematic into a 1-drop artifact, in order to fetch the Torpor Orb as quickly as possible, which would allow us to be safer in this matchup, let's say. I think I gotta attempt to play Oswald. If it doesn't go right, well, it doesn't go right. It's perfectly possible that my opponent has one of the 3 cards that allows them to answer Oswald on the stack. And they do. No biggie. Put it back in the command zone. Take our point of damage. And then follow up with a Weathered Wayfarer, I think. I'd like to draw a land, though. Yes, I do. This is mighty fine. So I think we're gonna play Stoneforge. Could have played to keep Oswald in my graveyard in the hope that Stoneforge resolves and gets me pre-war form aware, but I don't think this was a reasonable play. We will drop our Wayfarer in the hope that it can fetch an Urza's Saga at some point. We draw Grindstone. This might be good somewhere down the line to win the game on the spot, but at the moment I'd like this Stoneforge to resolve, which it won't. Okay, but this means that our Wayfarer will actually be useful. Let's see, I think I'd rather have these Urza Saga in my hand rather than drawing this Stoneforge. Okay, they're going to slam Aragorn. So no top or blend this game. I will get my Saga. I think this turn I Saga attempt to play servo schematics and grindstone. If it resolve, I think I'll try to dispatch Aragorn right here, right now. This might not work, but I think at least I will tap it. No, opponent has force of will. Okay. That's not great, but we can live with that, I think. I think this is the kind of games where the deck looks unbeatable. 3 counterspell, 1 mana counterspell in the early game. We'll see how this resolves, but my position is getting a bit complicated. Witch Enchanter. Okay, this is bad. This is bad, but I can still, I think... Oh, Mother of Runes. Okay, this is not going not that well. Yumizawa's Jite. I have 2 options this turn. I can Wayfarer to fetch Echoing Deeps, get back this Urza's Saga. But I think I lag Jite on this servo token. This allows me to get rid of this Mother of Runes. I think this is important. I will lose it in combat, I think, but this is worth it. I still think this is worth it. Could have made the choice to sacrifice my Benevolent Bodyguard to keep my servo token safe, but I don't think this brings me closer to the victory. So I took a lot this turn, and my opponent follows up with a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. Giver of Runes. Okay. I think the safe play to make here is Wayfarer for Echoing Deeps, playing Giver of Runes, and equipping Jite to the Bodyguard. Normalize, yep. That's a good thing I didn't play Oswald this turn. I could equip Jite on Bodyguard, use a counter to give it +2/+2 in combat if it gets blocked by Aragorn, and use 1 more counter to kill my opponent's Aragorn, which doesn't accomplish anything. I mean, it wins me some time, and I think time might be critical here. Yep, I think this is better than using Soul Blades. So this is what they do. And I will take the kill on the Aragorn. It alleviates the clock a little bit, and I think this is good because in the end I will get my constructs, I think, and a Shadow Spear, which could allow me to win the race. They did discard 2 lands. Okay, so opponent casts Aragorn again. Do I win? I might try to. The other play pattern this turn is Wayfarer, equip Jite, attack. If my opponent has a removal, I'm dead anyway because Aragorn prevents me from blocking. So if they have a removal, I'm dead. If they have a counterspell, best play is not to attempt anything. What could they have in their 4-card hand? Okay, I think I will try and resolve this. Okay, my opponent didn't have 6. I think I'm dead. Yep, Stern Scalding. Oh well. I'll try one more time. I'm not strictly dead this turn, I think, but it's not that good either. Okay, no block, it seems, from my opponent. I might not be dead next turn. I will do the same thing. Trading for their Aragorn. I don't think I'll take the 2 life now. I think this is a bit rash to do it this way. But now I'm between a rock and a hard place because they can just recast their Aragorn. I don't think I had winning plays. Maybe I should have played the first line of play that I told, which was just to make my construct. I think in this situation I'm cooked because, yep, Aragorn is a fair deck and I can't block against this command zone. Yep. Matchups I think is kind of complicated anyway. Maybe I fucked up by trying to kill my opponent with this Painter's Servant. I will keep this hand. Looks good. Will my opponent has their 1 mana counter spell one more time? We'll see, I guess. Let's go. Oswald. They are too strong at this game. Can't keep up. Oh, damn. I click no. Oopsie. I meant to return in the command zone. Okay. I don't think attacking leads me anywhere here. I will just play my Wayfarer. Okay. Days gets rid of it. No, because I misclicked and this Oswald is in my graveyard, I'm in a terrible position. I will attempt this Tangle Wire. Might buy me some time. Yep, that was to be expected. I will take my part of damage. I will recycle Wizard's Rocket. Tishana's Tidebinder. Oh no, Hillbreacher. Well. Oh well. And this misclick is going to cost me the game, I think. Well, don't think I have anything better but just pass the turn. I will attempt to kill the Hullbreacher, keep the board clean. TNN. Well, that doesn't look good. I will attempt to transform my Soulblades. Can I exile? No, I have to exile something else. Well, doesn't has haste. Or does it? Exile this artifact, so yeah, no. I can't attack with it this turn. Oh, did I overpay? Okay, my bad. Yep. Let's pass the turn. Yep, at least this prevents my opponent from attacking me right now. Portable Hole. I think this has some merits, actually. Should have kept these. Okay, no, I see. Should have kept these, maybe Wizard's Rockets instead of Tangled Wire. Could have allowed me to use my Foundry to get rid of this Portable Hole and draw another card. Well, slight misstep. As I said, this deck is quite complicated to play. A lot of cool things to do, but also are really punishing in case of errors. Opponents attempts Aragorn on the face of my on thin ice, so I think that, yep, they perfectly should, because this TNN might stay on D, yep, and I just can't get back the Monarch. It's going to get pretty difficult, I think. I think I will still attempt to on thin ice this Aragorn. Oh, this might not resolve. Yep. I will still try to prevent this Aragorn from doing a thing and get the Monarch back. I will most certainly lose my Bodyguard this turn, except if my opponent values their life total, which might be relevant. They're at 11. Yep, okay, so get back the Monarch, puts my opponent to 6. And what do I draw? Razorgrass Ambush. Enlightened Tutor in the upkeep. This means Parallax Wave, yep, obviously. This feels like the worst that Aragorn can even... I forgot the word. This seems like the worst that Aragorn can do in terms of non-entry activity. You can't block, I have a TNN and a Parallax Wave. Good luck playing creatures in face of that. Pretty boring. If I draw land, I can use my Inventor's Sphere to fetch a Pithing Needle. Yep, this is what I'm going to do. I actually didn't have to draw a land here. Pithing Needle, it's here. Well, if it resolve, I think I'm good actually. It is resolving. Parallax Wave, my friend. Not going to play with this. Dime, brother! This chariot come in clutch. Voice of Victory is also a really good card with my opponent at 1 life. If my opponent doesn't attack, I'm feeling so good. Okay, they do. Prismatic Ending on the Pithing Needle. Okay. This will help them indeed. Mother of Runes. Okay, this is good. Oh, click. Yep. Okay. They like the cards that I have. Okay, guess. I think I will attempt Voice of Victory, Mother of Runes, then keep the ambush for the Vendilion click and still try to make this chariot a creature. In order for the Parallax Wave to go down at some point, I think I need to do this. I have this Mirex, which looks good a bit later. Yep. Yep. Do I think ambush? I keep ambush. Yeah, I think I do. I think it looks better than a land right now. Opponent still has 2 counters, but they will have to get rid of this Voice of Victory because it represents 3 different bodies that each are lethal. So virtually 1 counter on this Parallax Wave. And I think they will have to do this before I can untap with my Mother of Runes, so I might get back all my creatures during my opponent's next turn. Okay, they want to crew this Aragorn. Okay, for the lifelink purposes, yep, makes sense. This doesn't work well against this Vendilion click. It is tapped but not attacking. I don't think I do anything right now. Samwise. Okay, they can get back their fetch this way. And yes, they have to move now. Huh. Fine. This is getting out of hand, I think. This might be good sometime. I'm not doing anything, I think. Oh, yep. Okay, they can get back their Parallax Wave. Ah, I didn't see that coming. Nice one. Okay, so I'm dead. I won't be fighting this game anymore. Well, I misclicked. I think this cost me the game. Matchup isn't supposed to be that bad, but my opponents drew really well, and I did some misclicks, so, well, here goes first round. So we're on the draw against another Aragorn. I did a mulligan. First hand was too much land and not enough action. And I did put a Terrarion back to my library with this one. I like the Urza's Cave into Saga Plan. And I kind of like the turn 1 Inspector, Jite, Jolted Awake Cave plan for the first turns of the game. Let's hope this is good enough. Lightning Greaves. Okay, my opponent is an animal. Noted. In that case, I think I attempt to play Oswald this turn in the hope of getting a Torpor Orb next turn if it goes according to plan. My opponent might have a free counter spell. No, they don't. Cool. I take my point of damage and pass the turn. Oost onto Oswald. I think I will accept it to go in my library. Yep. Here it goes. So no Torpor Orb, sadly. And Voice of Victory for my opponent. Which means I will take a beating this turn. This seems to be a pretty aggressive version of Aragorn. Less control-ish and more aggressive. Greaves and Voice of Victory aren't typically played in the standard deck lists, let's say. Okay, next turn I know that I draw Oswald. I think Jite is kinda okay. And I got to go for Shadow Spear here, I think. Sadly, this Lightning Greaves means that my opponent's Aragorn will have haste next turn and I will take a lot of damage. I will need to stabilize this board at some point. Okay, no Aragorn for my opponent this turn. They play conservatively. Maybe in the fear of the Oswald from the top of my deck. Drawing a land here could be actually pretty good. I should maybe sacrifice this clue and try to draw it, but if I don't, this is a really bad turn. I think Oswald will die. Question is how. I think I gotta sacrifice this clue. If I don't draw this land, I think I'm cooked. Okay, I draw it, and this is actually good. If I play Oswald, it might take a removal, but I have the Jolted Wake as a backup. I think I'm okay with this plan. Mana Leak, perfect. And keep it in my graveyard. Okay, your opponent slams Aragorn. I don't think this is either good or bad. I think it is something happening. We'll see how this bodes. I just hope my opponent doesn't have a free direction in hand, because in that case I'm toast. I think. I'm toasted. Unexpectedly absent might be useful a bit later down the line, I think. First order of business. Well, I could make this a 2-3, attach the GTA, try to attack, but no, it won't lead me anywhere. Yep, I gotta commit to my plan. Okay, Oswald's in play. I can anthenize this Voice of Victory. And I think I'm willing to equip GTA onto my Novice Inspector right now. Question is, am I willing to trade for 2 GTA counters? I think I am. Allows me next turn to maybe unexpectedly absent Dead Lightning Greaves and try to remove my opponent's Aragorn some way or another. Okay. Snapcaster Mage onto a removal. Doesn't look good here. Damn, I did put Oswald onto my library. This time I meant to put it into my command zone for my plan to fetch Urza's Saga with my Urza's Cave. Oops. Second time I misclick in this matchup. My own Voice of Victory. I think this is good. If it resolves. No guarantee. Yep. Free counter spell. Yay. So, in that case, I play this implement and sacrifice it at some point to draw into my Oswald. Yep, Restless Anchorage is a nice clock. I gotta kill this Snapcaster right now. Same as winning 2 life, but killing an opponent creatures also, which is better, I think. I will sacrifice this implement right now. Or is it not 2, I think? Lickmoth Nexus might be good later down the line. Right now, I think... What's the best course of action? Maybe slow roll this Urza's Cave onto Saga a bit too much. I think my plan's revolving around Oswald. Don't have that much to do if not for this creature. Okay. Nice. On the play for game 2. Okay, I think this is good. I'm menacing a really early Dreadnought, but I don't think playing it early will be good. But this is still a plan my hand offers. Mirex 2 looks good in this matchup. Okay, mental misstep. Fair enough. How do I do this? I assume my spell this turn will be resolving. Playing Lion Sash into next turn Bodyguard Oswald is the more mana efficient. Playing Oswald this turn I think is risky if my opponent has any sort of removal. That's why I want to play Bodyguard first. But this opens my Oswald to be soft countered next turn by a Mana Tithe or Force Spike. I think I'm okay with Lion Sash this turn. And maybe slow roll a bit Bodyguard and Oswald. Okay, actually... Okay, never mind. Another free counter spell. But only 3 cards left in my opponent's hand, though. Which bodes well for this Phyrexian Dreadnought. As I was about to say, I think plan this game is Dreadnought. And in that regard, making my opponent interact early in the game is pretty good. For as long as I can slow roll this and put it into play a key turn where my opponent cannot do anything about it, is I think a pretty solid win condition. Open counterspell for my opponent. I think I'm willing to play Oswald into this open counterspell now. I'm not revealing this Mycosynth Garden before it is relevant that I play it. Oh no, lose focus. I can't play. I will return into my command zone and play this bodyguard, which is actually more important than this Oswald regarding my game plan. Does my opponent has another counterspell? I mean, I can just Mirex and attempt Oswald one more time. If it resolves, this means my opponent doesn't have any counterspell left. Okay, they attempt to bolt the bodyguard beforehand, so they might have another removal in hand. We'll see. Anyway, it is here. Skyclave Apparition. Okay, plan is working. Wonderful. I can't play against my opponent's top of the deck, but I did what I could. Mycosynth Garden, Mother of Runes. And now I will attempt not to misclick what's going to be a kind of weird interaction. Well, not weird, but I got to play it right. And I think I keep the original. In case of bounce or something like this, I'd rather have Dreadnought onto the battlefield. Okay, our opponent has one turn to spike like Swords to Plowshares, exactly. Or Oost too. Could be good. Yay, Aragorn. Oh no, I can't block. I swear that multiplayer design is a plague for a dual commander. I will attack with my 12-12 and possibly get the Monarch back, I assume. And you can go. I take my 6. Opponents to 8. Dreadnought's still lethal. Got a way to protect it. We'll see how this goes. Pippin, Guard of the Citadel. Okay. I think I'm not allowed to try and protect my Dreadnought from white and win this turn. I don't think this is reasonable. Hushbringer. Okay. If my opponent has Solitude or Swords to Plowshares, no, I gotta attack. I don't have much choice here, I think. Double block. Yep. I will take my Monarch back and planes go. Can play Hushbringer. Oh no, this... I thought this was like a Doorkeeper Thrall with Flash. I mean, I thought this was Doorkeeper Thrall, but I thought this one had Flash too. Which it doesn't. I should have played it. Should have played it. Most definitely. My opponent could have Paragoyf and kill me on the spot. I mean, if they had it, maybe... No. Playing it after combat is more relevant, I think. Oost onto Mother of Runes. I will attempt to protect my Dreadnought. Petty Theft. Okay. Which means I can Hushbringer and Dreadnought next turn. Let's make another token. And if my opponent draws a land, I think I'm dead anyway. Because they can just haste Aragorn and, oh, you couldn't block. Surprise. So I don't think I have much choice here, but I just have to play my cards, attack, and try in an attempt to get the Monarch back. But I think they just won because of their stupid command zone. Well, actually, if I get the Monarch back, thanks to Hushbringer, their Aragorn won't give them the Monarch back. So yeah, this is actually not that bad, except if they have a removal to play this very moment onto my other might. Obviously they have. No reason not to sacrifice this clue now. I don't know what I'm drawing into, but oh yeah, actually I did know what I was drawing into. Yep, I'm dead if they draw a land. Yay. And they drew their land. Wonderful. Yep, they did see it. Well, GG. Third match on the play against Acererak. Okay. I really like this Hearthbringer in my hand. I have lands, Grindstone, which is half of a combo. I think it is good. Plains Bubble on 1. I think I will go for this expedition map too. And pass the turn. Okay, this Dreadfug I think will discard my Hearthbringer. My opponent also knows now that they can face a Grindstone somewhere down the line. I think I'm willing to sacrifice this map this turn. Or just try and play Oswald this turn, then next turn map Saga. Yes, I think I like this plan. I think this is the best course of action. Friendly banter in the chat with my opponent who says, yep, I think the matchup might be complicated for me because he is aware of what my deck is able to do against his deck. And he says, yay, one less interaction in your hand thanks to that discard. But I think there will be still more to go in the near future. So this will be map Saga Grindstone. And I think there's a world where I can maybe race. I mean, construct into Lavasper Boots is no joke. Shed Memory will be transmuted for a 2-mana card. Maybe the one that reduces the cost of creatures by 2. Hearthless Summoning, yep. Portable Hole is a nice answer to this somewhere down the line, so I don't think I do anything my turn. I hope to draw a land. Okay, this is perfect. This means I can fair, implement, still do my construct, and do a ton of damage to my opponent, while having an interaction for the next turn. Ooh, with these Cabal Coffers, my opponent will be able to do some things right now. I think I'm going to make like a, how's that called? Bingo board with like, is my opponent either Combo or Aragorn? I think I can win pretty easily this bingo board. Okay, I will make my construct. Oh, it's not the end of the turn. That might not be relevant, but yep, no. I'm glad this wasn't relevant. Upkeep, I gain 1. Do I draw a land? This isn't a land. In that case, I don't think I can allow myself to equip the boots this turn unless this is lethal. And I will just portable hold the Heartless Summoning. This is a mana ability, right? Yep. I think I'm overthinking myself here. This will be the boots. Portable hole here will buy me a lot of time, and I think this is good. I think enough time for my constructs to kill my opponent. I think I can F6, actually, let my opponents do their thing. They will need to remove some amount of my board to attempt and win this turn. They might be able to not die on their next turn, but I think they're still in a pretty complicated position. I'd like to draw another white source to unexpectedly absent something else down the line. I don't still think I'm like positioned well enough. Might just die on my next turn if they remove one of my constructs. The 2 skeletons, yep, actually, this is good too. I draw planes, this is good. I don't think playing Oswald now is good, but I can play my Acererak. Jolted Awake on Hearthbringer, I think, is better than Unexpectedly Absent. I will absolutely give it +1/+0 and haste. Okay, so it dies. I think I will just take my attack and recycle maybe the implement. I think that regarding the fact that I wasn't willing to equip Lavasper Boots the turn I did fetch it, I should have maybe taken the Shadow Spear. I don't think if it is just a retrospective good play that wasn't really obvious at the time, or if it was just a mistake. I think it was a mistake. The Mere Machinations will be able to get a Sub-Zig Ceremony, I think. And this is starting to be bad for me. I think I'm going to recycle both of my artifacts at the end of my opponent's turn. I think I will sacrifice this implement right now. If I draw a Solitude, I might want to exile Acererak right now. Parallax Wave. This is sorcery speed, but it's not bad for the following turn, I think. Might be able to kill thanks to this card. In that case, I won't recycle the bubble. I think my opponent's plan right now is to put 2 zombies into play and try to block both of my constructs. In that case, this Parallax Wave may get rid of the zombies, make me kill my opponent, and if they can survive by any means, I still have counters on the Parallax Wave to try and exile Acererak with its trigger on the stack, which means my opponent won't be able to play it as much as they'd like. It will depend on what this Mad Wizard lair will bring them. Map Profanator, yep. Might set up a kill for next turn with the Relic that allows them to tap their commander to make a mana. Oh, they still had a land drop to make. So they can kill me right now if they have like Dark Ritual. Okay, they can't. It's a bit of an insurance policy not to die against a single removal. And they go to 15. Okay, this actually might be a problem. Thousand Moon Smithy doesn't help me here and there. I can't kill this turn. If I attempt to do it, Parallax Wave. I think the best thing I can do with Parallax Wave is just play it post-combat and use my 5 counters to make my opponent cast Acererak from their command zone. I think they have access to how much mana next turn? 11? The play Acererak, that's 10, I exile it. The play Acererak, that's 7, I exile it. They play Surrak, that's 2, I exile it. I mean, this is not good, but I think this is what I gotta do. I don't think this MIDI helps me in any ways, so yep. Alternatively, I could, after the draw step, make this Sub-Zig Ceremony disappear for quite some time. I think I like this much more, actually. Well, I could make it disappear temporarily, but I think they would be able to draw it anyway. 2, 3, 4. If they cast 4 times their commander, they could play the Sub-Zig Ceremony with 11 mana. Their commander, if they play Relic of Legends, that's 8. They play the first Acererak, and that's 7. And they can cast it 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, but they couldn't, I think. Whoa, it's getting complicated. I don't play the deck. I see its play patterns and I try to play around them, but that's not an easy exercise, to say the least. And I think, yeah, definitely this Shadow Spear would have been better than these boots. This was my mistake for sure. Now is, what's the best course of action? Either it is Parallax Wave or Unexpectedly Absent. In which order do I want to play these cards? I could, alternatively, Unexpectedly Absent their Acererak, but no, because they just put it into their command zone and do it again, and they have a lot of mana. So either it is Unexpectedly Absent on X equals 2 on the Sub-Zig Ceremony, or is it Parallax Wave? I don't think Parallax Wave's winning me anything, so if I had 1 more mana, I could just Unexpectedly Absent their Ceremony and mill it with Grindstone, but it is not possible. Okay, so they have a bit less mana than I thought because they didn't have another land. I thought they did, but yeah, no, I was wrong. They landed the last turn. So here we go again. They didn't fetch their a relic that allows them to tap their commander to make a mana. Relic of Legends, I think it's called. Otherwise, they would have played it beforehand. So this actually is good for me, I think. So they Scryed, I think, to the pot. This one can't attack. Okay. Okay, this land would have been good a bit earlier, I think. Anyway, this means that if I'm correct, I could mill their Sibzik ceremony. Why didn't they cast their commander another time in that case? Do they have a way to draw at instant speed? I actually don't know. I don't think so, but I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I lose on the spot. What's the safest approach here? I think it's starting by attacking. I think I gotta attempt the cheese. Yep. I'm in that position. I don't like this very much, but I think I have to. Okay, no, it's gone. Cool. Cool. Consuming corruption. Okay, so this was just a removal for my creature. That's fine by me. Okay, so they want to kill my other construct. All these removal that gonna go straight to my Oswald or I think future Painter Servant look good to me. Expedition map gets sacrificed for a Lake of the Dead. Yep, makes sense. A bit non-bow with Cabal Coffers, but makes sense. Now, what do I want to do? Next turn, I could Thousand Moon Smithy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means it's flip instantly. And I can equip Lava Spur Boots to the token instantly. Do I want to sacrifice this bubble is the real question. And do I plan on grindstoning my opponent? I'm not quite sure this play is reasonable. I won't sacrifice this bubble. Shadow Spear, hey! You here. So this means I can play my Smithy. I don't think I attempt on grindstoning my opponent. He's mono black after all. I need to put some amount of pressure. I don't like passing a turn to fetch my Painter Servant and maybe die on the following turn. I'd rather put some amount of pressure onto my opponent. This might be wrong. So I will equip this token. I know it is at the beginning of my first main phase. I thought this was my combat step and I could transform it instantly, but nope. Yep, removal. This is why I didn't want to go for my Painter Servant play. I still think I don't want to sacrifice this bubble. This represents me being able to tap all these 5 permanents, keeping the Smithy untapped, which allows me to play Shadow Spear and immediately having a humongous token with haste. What did my opponent get this time? How did they get their Profane Tutor back? I thought this was in their graveyard. I must have missed something. Well, again, my point of life. And I will absolutely take my new land. Perfect. I will cast this Shadow Spear. I get a friend. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can still play Honok Ward. Or no, I can't play Palax Wave. Still, I think I'd rather equip with both of my equipments and play the Honok Ward. Force of Despair. Okay. So, here we go again. Hoping this one don't die. Sun in Blood to draw cards. Okay. Recycling, clinging to dust. Okay. I think they're looking for removal. Demonic Tutor. Yep, I think this qualifies as a removal. Pretty sure about it. Yawgmoth Wheel. Oh, well, this is far worse than a removal. I think I'm dying on the spot. They can go, I think, for... oh, I think this ward might save me. Even if they have a free removal, I don't think they have enough mana to kill me this turn. Which is good by my standards. Okay. Reverence Mantra. Right on time. Okay, so I think this turn I gotta play... I still get a plan, actually. Unless they have Snuff Out, I think I'm still good. Ah, damn, I should have used the barracks. Why is it this with all of my lands? Damn. Okay, whatever. I will get rid of this Astrolabe and get my Topo Orb. Then, yeah, this is absolutely horrendous. This mistake that I just made, not using my barracks. Okay, opponent states GG. This was an uphill battle. I think my mistake of not getting the Shadow Spear earlier in the game might have cost me a lot of time. One lander, no thanks. Yes, I got lands. Actually, I think this is good enough. I would just get rid of land for now. That's turn 1, Bodyguard, to 2 as well. Turn 3, Inspector. I fetch something. I think this is okay. Okay, opponent kills instantly this Bodyguard. This doesn't bode well for my commander survivability, but hey, draw Jolted Awake. This is pretty lucky. Yep, that was to be expected. Servo Schematic. Okay. I will get my Oswald back and I think play... what's better? Schematics or Novice Inspector? I think Schematics. This leaves me with the most options next turn. Okay, Toxic Deluge. This time Oswald goes back to my command zone. I got 3 removals from my opponent. I don't think they play that many, that much, I mean, so I think I can just 4 mana Oswald right now. I mean, this is the best I can do anyway. If they have removal, this means they don't have tutors or ways to reduce their general cost, so I'm actually okay with that. Beseech the Queen. This might represent another removal. Yep, this is absolutely another removal. Okay, so I will play my Novice Inspector. I think drawing the clue is important for me to draw a land to cast Oswald again next turn. So I will just animate this, take my point of damage, and attack with it. Bontu's Monument. Okay. So, yep, this will resolve. And do I want to do something with the trigger on the stack? I could activate this Nexus. This gives me 3 artifacts, and I can dispatch the Acererak right here, right now, which means it will cost 4 next time. Is it really irrelevant? I don't think so. I'd rather just draw my card. Glass Casket, okay. I drew my land. Superb. Damn, sorry for the mic, it was off for a moment here. I didn't draw my land at the beginning of the turn, so I had to play the Shadow Spear, sacrifice my Inventor's Fair to go get a Destroyer's Reliquary to exile their Relic of Legends. And I drew the land with the Terrarion that I sacrificed, so yep, that's why I have an untapped land. Otherwise, I just would have, I think, fetched for a Topo Orb. Actually, Topo Orb wasn't even good at that point because I know they have Tendrils of Agony in hand, so I might just be dead this turn anyway. Yes, actually, I think I am. Well, complicated game. Anyway, opponent kept a hand with absolutely all the removals of their deck, and it paid off. Shorter drills, yep, They can just attack me with both of their skeletons. Or can they? No, actually, I'm still not dead this turn. I need to draw really well here. This does not qualify. I'm dead. GG. Okay. Third game on the play. Okay. I like this hand. This is Bodyguard on 1, I think, into Oswald on 2. On the play, it might work. Okay. It actually won't. I think casting Oswald this turn is still the best thing I can do. Another removal. Allows my opponents to get rid of Oswald another time. I will cast Ratchet and pass the turn. Jet Medallion. Okay. Pre-war Fulmaware. I think I actually like this onto the Bodyguard. Allows me to play Oswald next turn. Could have played Oswald this turn too and try and pre-war Fulmaware. But I have not that much time left, so yeah, I think playing in this direction looks better, but might be wrong. I gotta play a bit more quickly. Deck's complicated, so... Okay, I draw land, so I will attack with both my creatures. And attempt on casting Oswald once more. Pontus Monument, okay. Innocent Blood. Huh. I think I gotta sacrifice this. I draw a bubble. I will sacrifice it to go and get, I think, Duskro's Reliquary. Seems to be the best I can do this very turn. And attack with my Bodyguard. Next turn I can sacrifice the Duskro's Reliquary to get a Topo Orb. And close this game, I think. I don't think I can F6. There's some amount of situations where my opponent could maybe kill me this turn. I don't want to take the risk. I still have a bit more cloak than my opponent. If they have something like a Toxic Deluge, might want to keep play this Unexpectedly Absent onto my Oswald too, for instance. Relic of Legends. Okay, this is good, but maybe a bit too late, I think. I draw Resist Saga. Okay, fine. I will use my Oswald to get the Topo Orb. This means I can fetch a Dreadnought by the end of this saga at some point, if it is relevant. I can also copy the Topo Orb with the Mycosynth Gardens, if I think this is the right play to do. Opponent says GG in the chat. He told me GG, and I will still see if I could do something with the time remaining. So, yep, this is absolutely fine by me. And I think this is relevant too. Opponents telling me that they're learning the deck at the moment, so that's why they're a bit slow on certain decisions. I didn't play that quickly myself this game either. I had some tough choices to make. And as they are learning the deck, yeah, I think maybe playing out these kind of complicated situations is something actually interesting to do. Okay, and no, this is GG on the chat. Maybe they didn't find anything to do with this Besiege the Mirror. Opponent says, please keep doing some Duel Commanders videos. They are cool. So thank you very much, opponent. That's very nice of you. GG was a really interesting match, I think. Nice one. We are... Oh, very nice. We're on the play against a Surrak Elziva Hunter. I'm really curious to see what my opponent did with this command zone. This is a new commander from Tarkir. Looked kind of interesting as a mono-green Stompy command zone. I don't know if this is good enough, but yep, I'm pretty curious to see how this is going. And I think that I actually don't have that good of a matchup against that kind of deck. Aggressive decks with a lot of board early can really kill me before I can do my thing, actually. A good thing is that mono green doesn't have that many interactions, so maybe my Oswald will survive. Anyway, this hand is an absolute mulligan. Okay, this looks absolutely fine in the matchup. I think I would like to keep every one of these cards. But if I can't keep all of them, I think I'd like Rocket on 1, maybe Spring-Loaded Soul Blaze on 2, Oswald on 3, Formal Wear on 4, sorry, if need be. So I think this is the Foundry that goes back. Utopia Sprawl. Oh, yep. That's not really good. This means my Soul Blades can't kill a Dork. Okay, but I have a Dreadnought coming soon. Coming soon! In your nearest theaters! Phyrexian Dreadnought. This would have been a good secret layer card to make in Desmorn, but I think it's on the reserved list, so pretty sure that's why they didn't do it. Otherwise, it would have been a really nice opportunity, I think, to make something with this. Dude, I like this card. This card is stupid. Yep, I will take my Surrak. Oh no, Fnatic of Ronus. Okay. That's actually... I feared more the 4-3 Champler, but maybe my opponent has a very huge follow-up that I don't like to see on next turn. We'll see. Anyway, this means I will absolutely do my thing. What do I draw? If I draw Topper Orb, I'm absolutely the saddest man on earth. Yep, didn't happen. Topper Orb. Let me introduce you, my friend. Who is the Stompy now? And I think, is this Pride or Foundry? I think Pride. Not quite sure about this one. Maybe Foundry was better to, if needs be, have a 1-drop to sacrifice with Oswald. Yeah, I think maybe Foundry was better than Oswald Pride. Thing is, this is an artifact creature, and in grid decks, they often play some amount of artifact removal. So even if they don't have that many ways to interact with creatures, this Dreadnought is not as safe as I would like it to be. Exactly what I was thinking about. Well, that's why I have a pre-war Formalware in my hand now. Oh no! Topper Orb doesn't work with this one. Yeah, I just forgot how my own card works. There's still a nice amount of power toughness in front of me. I think this is a good time to play the Soul Blades. And my opponent concedes. Yep, I can totally relate. So this went far better than expected, but I got pretty lucky on my draw. What did this do? I think it's good enough. Give her runes on turn 1. It's nice insurance policy. Not the best turn 1 against mono green Stompy, but I think good enough still. If I draw removal, I think I absolutely remove this Fiddle Elves. My opponent's start is more important than my own creature safety. But yep, I didn't, so I stick to my plan. This is a lot of mana. Surrak is, yep, kind of good. I mean, it's a really strong beater. I already have a lot of good equipment in my hand for a Stoneforge. But still, it is Oswald that I play. My turn, it might be Mystic into I fetch Topper Orb. Next turn, it might be Inspector into I fetch my Dreadnought. If I'm still alive, which is absolutely not taken for granted here. Green Sun's Zenith, X equals 4. What does this look like? Just a questing beast, quote unquote. I will absolutely take a beating this turn. I'm not in that good of a position, but actually, you know what? I think I'm perfectly fine doing this. Double block your Surrak, giving pro green to Oswald. I think this trade favors me. If my opponent has a removal, so be it. But once again, they're playing mono green, they're full tapped. This means I take only 4 this turn, and I think this is actually... Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, of course. Said to my opponent, that's one mistake apiece. I still won't get it into my command zone. I'd like it in my graveyard, and I will absolutely pre-Formalware it right now. This is not good, but I mean, could be far worse, I think. No, if they have a removal, I think I'm completely dead. Nature's Way. Ooh. I think no, I'm willing to go to game 3. We'll see, but yeah, I will take an absolute beating. I still have removals in my deck, so I'm not dead yet. Still gonna play this game. Yep, if I manage to remove this Questing Beast, I might not be completely out of the wood yet, out of this game. So yeah, I'm willing to play a bit more. I take a beating. This is bad. So, what's the best course of action to try and survive this game? This is a 7-3. If I manage to put somewhat of a huge creature in front of it, I might not be dead. I'm not dead next turn, so I think my best chance is to try and redraw something. Expedition map is, I don't think, what I'd like to see. Or is it? Actually, Expedition map represents a Genjo. So this represents my opponents actually drawing cards and stuff, but this also represents me not being dead. So, yep, I like this map. Oh, that's a huge amount of mana. Not a hasty dude, please. I think I'm dead. This might be the new Balustrade Worm, I think. This is a kind of creature this deck might want to play. Or anything that has haste, I think, kills me on the spot, more or less. Well, actually, if he doesn't have Trample 2, I can block with Novice Inspector. And if I draw, like, Source of Plowshares, I'm maybe not dead. No, yeah, I think I'm dead. Most definitely. We'll see. Yep, Balustrade Worm. Okay, no, I'm dead. This is the kind of matchup where I'd like to draw like Swift Reconfiguration, for instance. Get a lot of removals in the deck. Time to make them shine. I don't think this qualifies as a good hand with only one land, sadly. This is okay, I think. The Witch is actually my what card to pitch with Reverence Mantra, so I think I get rid of this bubble. I think I get rid of the plains. No, I can't. I need at least 3 lands. This might be my 3rd land. So, yep, will be bubble. Opponent kept to 6-2, so that may be a good news. Oh, not in one for my opponent. I like to see this. Means my Oswald looks pretty safe. I can't really have 6 here. I don't want to take a Lignify, for instance. I don't know if my opponent plays it, but it might be perfectly reasonable to do so. Okay, they don't. Good. This means... What's the best course of action here? I actually think getting rid of this Shadow Spirit to get a GTA might be good. I can equip it on the spot onto my Oswald and count on my Witch Enchanter and or Glass Casket or Reverent Mantra to connect for the first time with the GTA, and from here on, GTA might run away with the game. Is this my best play? Alternatively, I could Glass Casket nothing and Tanglewire. This buys me a lot of time. Means next turn I will have 2 mana available. Okay, I think I like this play actually. Less risky than the GTA one. Okay, opponent has a creature. I will put fading in first, so tap, then fade. So I will fade, and then tap these 3 permanents. Okay, with this mantra, I think I like this plan of going for Honor Guard. Shadow Spear goes for Servo Schematics. And next turn, I go for Phyrexian Dreadnought, sacrificing my Servo. Endurance during the upkeep. Okay, that means my opponent won't cast anything during this turn, I think. Which is really good for me. Okay, so tap first, fading top. Hydrophilia. Okay. I don't think this is going to be that good, but might be. Anyway, Phyrexian Dreadnought. Hello there! I think I keep Witch Enchanter and Reverent Mantra and Philia for maybe my opponent's turn. They attempt to crew their copter. Okay, that's fine by me. Okay, I think end of turn I Philia. My own Sega. Okay. I think I start by attacking. This looks pretty safe to me. And I think I will blink my Tangle Wire. This is not cool, but I think this is the best thing I can do. This prompts an answer from my opponent. Will this Reverence Mantra come clutch? Best within, yep. Do I cast it or do I pitch my... I think I'm just going to cast. Okay, my opponent concedes. Fair enough. I think they were pretty much done, so for this game. GG! On the play for the last match, and we're facing a Yoshimaru Bruse, so a matchup that might be complicated, but I actually really like this hand in this very matchup. These removals look really good to me. Question is, and I don't have that much reps in the matchup, so I don't know if it is right or not. Do I want to play Oswald on turn 2 and keep my removal for a bit later down the line? These would force my opponent not to play aggressively on their turn if they want to remove my Oswald. If they don't, I could actually do nothing really relevant on the following turn because I can't really... Yep, I think I answered my own question. This is going to be a plains and a glass casket onto the doggo. This means next turn I can double spell. No play from my opponent. Either they're waiting for Oswald or they have a Philia. In any case, I'm playing this Voice of Victory right now. In that case, I will see what my opponent is going to do. Nothing. Okay. So let's follow up with the Pride and pass the turn, I think. Giver of Runes hits the bin. Uh-huh. I'm actually pretty surprised. Maybe my opponent's looking for their third land. I guess we'll never know. Sky Clay Evaporation. Okay. This one's not taking Oswald. And they fear the Pride more than the Voice of Victory. Yep. I like this. I draw another land. This is actually really cool. So, I think this turn looks like Oswald playing a Ghost Vacuum, playing a Grandstone 2, threaten the lethal next turn with Oswald. This forces my opponent to play defensively and attempt at getting at their life total because this Voice of Victory won't block well anyway. If they don't have a removal right here, right now, during their turn, I think they are cooked. On thin ice. They have their removal. Okay. Lailia. Okay. This is a good beater. End of turn, I will... Oh, yeah, I shouldn't. I should have done this before Lailia. I forgot that this creature was growing anytime something was exiled. Okay, so regarding the fact that I didn't draw the land to activate my Inventor Sphere, I'm fine doing this. Servo Schematics as a follow-up. No, I think I don't attack because I can profitably block this Sky Clay Evaporation. I think next turn I draw absolutely represents this Inventor Sphere getting a Painter Servant. Prevent non-combat damage and Mentor. And it can also gain first strike. Okay, so I can't block profitably this turn either, looks like. Yep, pretty nice. Do I want to block this turn? Don't think I have to. We'll see what's going on and play for the next turn. Skrelv. Okay. A land. I think I anyway still to put one more land at least in this deck. Yep. This is atrocious. I gotta play Oswald, I think. And can I get in a position where I don't lose to removal? With my actual board, no. I gotta play this Oswald, I think. Hope to get a little bit of time. Skull Clamp, okay. Yep, Oswald dies. That was to be expected. One of the reasons I didn't want to play server schematics is that without Oswald, this card is bad and it cannot even recycle. So, oh, I think I'm pretty much dead on this for Thurlingas. Anyway, what I was saying is that I didn't find any slot that cost 1 or 2, that allows me to create a 0-cost artifact, and that is still good without Oswald. Might exist, but I didn't find it. I think this was the best worst card. So, even though we had a pretty good start, we absolutely got wrecked by this deck. This is bound to happen some amount of time. But I like this hand with ways to protect Oswald, I think. Time to reconfigure a Yoshimaru. This one's not attacking soon. And I will play my Oswald with protection backup. So, Reverent Mantra. Do I exile the Soul Blades? No, I think I exile on Thin Ice because next turn, worst case scenario, I can Soul Blade into Tangle Wire. 2 removals from my opponent. Okay. He's dead. Can confirm. He's not breathing anymore. He's charred. Expedition map. Okay. This brings me a Urza Saga plan somewhere down the line. I actually hope my opponent plays a hasty creature this turn. If I could play this Soul Blade, this could be a mana efficient play that I like. But otherwise I can still fetch my Urza Saga. Skrelv, okay. So this will be my own Urza Saga that I will most definitely play, and this Soul Blade is not that good in the face of that Skrelv, so I think I'm better served just trying Oswald again. Opponent already used 2 removals. Maybe they don't have any more. Okay, they still had removal. But no follow-up threat. I like this very much. Okay, so I will play this bubble, snow-covered plains, and pass the turn. Oh, this changes an artifact. Okay, I didn't realize. So actually their construct is kinda big, are kinda big. Yay. 5/5 is huge. They want to equip their Skrelv? Okay, this makes their construct smaller. I don't quite get it, but alright. Mother of Runes. Yep, that's a good replacement. Okay, perfect. I draw a Ratchet. Okay, this is a follow play that I'm pretty happy to do, and this means I will fetch an implement of, I don't know, but a white implement, I think. It might be a Shadow Spear too. Yeah, Shadow Spear looks better in that matchup. Doesn't work as well with Ratchet, but I still think this is better. This allows me to race hard against this deck that can't really do anything else than racing, so sorry for that. Oh well, Parallax Wave. I'm a bit tired of this card. I know that I'd play it in my deck too, but this is just so easy as a Magic the Gathering card. Monumental Henge. Okay, comes on tap. I think I'd rather play this Ratchet still. Or do I? I think I'll start by try to attack. And I'm glad I have this life cushion right now, because otherwise I just would be strictly dead to this Parallax Wave. I still don't see myself winning anyway, but I mean, at least I'm playing some of my cards. Okay, I will equip. I don't think this costs me that much anyway. It will be exiled at some point with the Parallax Wave, I think, so Okay, I like to see this. Opponent recycling their lands. Yep. They will climb their construct and attack me, I guess, for 4. I will sacrifice this bubble. Okay, snow covered plains in their hand. I assume they had many lands. Oh, fabrication foundry. Can I do something cool with this turn? Play it. For 3, I can get back expedition map. But it's, I think, too slow. Or is it? This will be synchronized with when Parallax Waves gets by. Okay, so plan would be to Fabrication Foundry, use its ability to change these soul blades into expedition map, play my land. Next turn, I sacrifice map and I go fetch, I always forgot the name of this land, Echoing Deeps. I'll take at least 4. I will have 4 mana left. I won't be able to do anything relevant. I think actually the best thing I can do is just craft this turn. Like play my Foundry and craft the Soul Blade. Will allow me to block something next turn if needs be. I think I will get rid of the bubble. This is a vehicle, so at the moment they can't exile it, and during their turn I could just transform this into a 5/5 and block if needs be. So the planes that I saw was played. I think I'll take my 4 points here. Jolted Awake. These might be look good. Jolted Awake, Sacrifice Map, Echoing Deeps. I animate this, equip Shadow Spear, attack. I will seek Echoing Deeps and play it as an Urza's Saga. I will tap these 2 artifacts. Attempt to equip Shadow Spear to it. Okay. It should eat a removal, like this Cathar Commando, I assume. Thing is, I still have my Saga, so... Okay, opponent still decides to kill my loaded Soul Blade. Second time this comes handy, that this has a second side. I think I a bit underestimated this ability. Yeah, I get back my Ratchet. Thank you. Samwise, oh... Okay. This is getting ridiculous, I think. Witch Enchanter on my Urza's Saga? Yeah. Pretty well drawn from my opponent. And on thin ice? Yeah, sure. I think I'm dead. I don't see how this game could go in my favor from this point. Yep, this land means that I'm dead. GG! So what did we think about the deck? Expecting my misclicks against Aragorn, this led to pretty interesting games, as always. Tough matchup, Yoshimaru is. Any red aggressive decks, as mentioned during the deck tech, will be a tough beat. And Parallax Wave is not a fair card of Magic the Gathering, that's for sure. I don't really think this is still needed in the format anyway. Yep, Aragorn is a pretty complicated matchup, and regarding the fact that I fucked up, I completely lost to myself by misclicking in these matchups. Yep, deck looks fine to me. A bit sad of the result of this league. I expected to be a little bit better. Last time I played it, it was a bit better. The deck missed a land, that's for sure. I think I need to add another planes. So much time during this league, I expected to draw a land, and it was the best thing I could draw, and was the thing I needed to draw, and I didn't. And I had to change my play patterns to draw this freaking land. So I think one more land is needed in the deck. Other than that, I think that the Shell of Artifacts is okay. I'd like to find something else that servo schematics, but I still think it is okay in the deck list. I think it's mandatory as an effect. Maybe something else better might be played upon. Like Cursed Statue, I think, makes treasure tokens, but yep, anyway. I really like this deck. I think it is actually quite strong. I should have fared better against Aragorn. That's my bad. Uh, Completely. My misclick cost me the game here, and Parallax Wave, obviously. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this league, and see you next time. Bye!